All right, I want to help you guys see through some of the challenges when you're using no-code tools. So a lot of conversation around no-code. No-code is going to be the future, take your job, all that stuff. Maybe true, I don't know. But right now, here's the deal. I have this pretty app that I built, right? It's got all these different UI elements. You can hover, you can click. It's got different sections to the app. It's actually quite robust. Probably took 4 minutes for the no code tool to generate this. That's mind blowing in itself. However, what the tool is supposed to do, what this app is supposed to accomplish, is it is supposed to combine 500 exercises for a collegiate athlete to piece together into daily workouts in order to train during the summer, during the off season. It's a lot. In fact, it's so much. It's a 31-page PDF with calendar, with all sorts of instructions, the times for sprints or how many reps, the how to do the exercises, just all this information. It's crazy. So rather than trying to scroll that on your phone while you're working out or have this like 31-page manual you're carrying around, I thought it'd be cool to build an app. The challenge with no code is that it's great on the front end, really fast, like I said. But I've spent all total now probably 3 days worth of time, not 100% days, but 3 days worth of time compiling this information, creating the databases, the resources for this app to use, and planning it. So to get a really good output from a no-code tool, while it is magical feeling, it is not magic in itself. The best apps that you're going to generate come from really thoughtful planning. So I'm going to show you a little behind the scenes BTS on how I get prepared, what I do, and some of the processes that I use. So, I run a company that does AI and data, and that's what we do. But in this case, I'm trying to do this side project where the data is in a PDF. I want to leverage the no-code tools, see kind of what's possible. Yes, I'm using base 44. I could use, either one of us could use anything, V0, Bolt, Replit, Lovable, it doesn't matter. They're all going to be fundamentally the same in terms of the work you're going to have to do to get data in. Most apps are only valuable if they have good data behind them, right? Something to pull from to actually make that pretty front end useful. In this case, I used a project. So in Claude, most of the AI tools have this. You have chats, but you also have projects. Projects allow you to have an ongoing set of project knowledge, i.e., data or resources. So you can upload files. I highly recommend, whenever possible, uploading markdown files. So like a Google Doc, you can export or download as markdown. Notion creates markdown if you use Notion. So those are really great because it's kind of native to how the chat tools work. You can upload SQL files, text, you can do PDFs, Word docs, you can do it all. It doesn't matter, but Markdown is solid, or any kind of code is really solid. But what I'll do is I'll go through a process of working out what I want to build and talking it through with Claude, coming up with a plan, coming up with sort of a product description. All of that happened. I repasted that into the app planning text doc here. Then we did this training app breakdown. So that was sort of what are the core components that are in here. So then I paste those back in, because you're going to have a chat somewhere down in here, right, where you're going to run out of context, and then you're not going to have any of that information left to actually, so here's like mobile app design. So I made an edit here to one of my other chats, uploaded some stuff, and then it started to break down like what is in here, what should it be about, what does it do. We did another document here, another artifact. Here's what it's highlighting. We did it again. So I'm going through this process, right, to come up with it. Once I have something I really like, I come back, I upload it here. So that becomes context, right? The context within each of these chats is not usable in the next one. So if you want that information part of the whole project, you need to either copy and paste, export, take that artifact, put it in here. So just some little bit of how-tos there. So I know that's kind of structural. If you're not into that, you can fast forward a little bit. But the point being, work has to go in to get something really good out. So in this case, got all this planning, all this stuff into place. Then I wanted to build the database. So I have essentially what amounts to almost 500 exercises in that 31 page PDF document. And the athlete is supposed to pick and choose and combine these different combinations on different days. I mean, it's a lot. So how can I get that into the app and let the app use those same rules and just generate it for me, and I just go train? That's the concept. However, with 500 exercises, that turned out to be a really, really long JSON file. So I'm using JSON to kind of structure all this data. It's just another code language, which you can do inside of Claude or ChatGPT or anywhere. But in building that, I realized one is that Claude kept timing out. So you see segment 1 here, segment 2, all these things. So when I tried to just do the database and it started to write the code, it reached an end and paused. And that was a problem, because if you pause during writing code of any kind of artifact, it's sort of a death knell. Like, it means it's going to try and rewrite. It might screw things up. So like, here's an example, just one segment of 14, right? If I scroll, you'll see it's writing a lot of JSON code, right? It goes on and on and on. So the idea was, hey, I'll split it up. So first I tried 7 segments. I said, all right, Claude, break this into 7 segments. Then we'll go one by one. I went to segment 1. It paused again. So, head smack, dang it. All right, now let's try 14. We'll just double it. That time it started to work. There was just enough exercises within each one. It could complete the code right. It did very, very well. So now I have 14 of these JSON files that I have to use with my code base. Turned out that was also a positive thing, because pasting a 500 exercise long JSON into any no-code tool breaks the chat window itself. So, don't do that. Learn from my mistakes. But what I had to do is I had to actually tell base 44, I had to say, I have 14 JSON files that I want you to consolidate, and I'm going to upload them one at a time. So after you receive each one, acknowledge, ask for the next. And that's what we did. One by one, I'd upload it. It would say, I got number 2, I'm ready for 3. Got number 3, ready for 4. It was going fantastic. And it got to 12 and it started building the app. And I was like, what the heck? So I let it finish. Then I said, great, app looks pretty, it's nice, except you jumped ahead and you forgot segments 13 and 14. Then we uploaded those, added them in. Since then, I've gone through and had to update some things. It wasn't paying attention to actual dates. It wasn't actually compiling the different workouts as they were supposed to be compiled. So again, challenges. And this is that difference between back end, front end. There's info, is the front end, adhering to it. Even this right here, I'm noticing the next workout is not on August 12th. It should be July 16th. So all that to say, there's a lot of tools available to help you collate and aggregate, even break apart data, get it back into these no-code tools. But you have to think through it. You have to put in some work. You can automate things if you're doing it rapidly. Obviously, we live at a different scale for my business, where we're doing this inside of databases and not, directly pasting into a chat. So this has been an interesting challenge for me to kind of, think through how to do this, how to make it accessible. Could someone like you take any kind of database, a giant PDF or whatever knowledge you have, get it into a no-code tool and create a usable application? And my hope is that not only my daughter, but her teammates could leverage this tool in the future, so that it's just an easy way to go out and train, have it on your phone, big buttons. What do I do next? Just tell me, I'll go, right? Instead of having this gigantic PDF or printout that I have to now math out while I'm also sweating and working out. So that is the state of no code. Hope you enjoyed this. It got a little bit long, but the point was to really show you how this stuff works, what's possible, where the failure points are. And honestly, the challenge really still is getting a good, robust backend filled with good quality data, because that makes any app you build stand out or perform or be what you want it to be. It's not just the buttons, it's what goes on behind. So hope you enjoyed. I'll let you know if I get this app working. So stay tuned on that. Thanks for watching.